Bert here, and the Koss PortaPro was my very first love in the world of headphones. And it's a fantastic value, a total steal for the price. In fact, you know what? You don't even need to watch this review. Stop the video. Just go out and buy it. It's that good.
Oh, come on, Bert. Do a review. People want to know more. Give us some details about the PortaPro.
All right, well, first of all, these are the very best value in headphones today. As of now, they are $34 on Amazon. Check it out.
Well, you're finally reviewing a headphone I like.
Oh, hey, Santa.
Hey, nice sign.
Oh, thanks.
You know, the PortaPro is an amazing headphone. It sounds great, but it looks very, very strange.
What?
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at it. And here it is, the Koss PortaPro. Isn't it wonderful? Okay, I hear a lot of people who talk about this headphone today saying that it looks a little weird, that it has a strange design and a goofy blue color. See that blue color over there? Yeah. But to understand the PortaPro, you have to understand the times in which this headphone was first released, the mid-1980s. When this headphone came out, it was a massive leap forward, and it completely shook up the entire portable headphone world. Also, back in the 80s, a lot of things were this color blue. Trust me.
Sounds like this is a special headphone.
Absolutely. This is a classic. They still make this headphone today, mostly unchanged from when it was first released over 30 years ago, and they still sound great. When you listen to the Koss PortaPro, you are listening to a piece of audio history.
Wow. Tell us about it.
The Koss PortaPro is an on-ear headphone. It doesn't go around your ear, but rests on it. It is also an open headphone. It is not sealed, so sound does leak out. One of the first things you notice when you put on the PortaPro is that they are extremely light. So let's weigh the PortaPro. Now it weighs 62 grams, or 2.2 ounces.
How much it weigh in cookies?
In cookies? I don't know.
So they weigh 4 cookie.
You're right. 58 grams. The Koss PortaPro weighs just over 4 chocolate chip cookies. That's very light.
Yeah, very light breakfast.
Breakfast?
Too bad they don't look like much.
What? Believe me, if I could take you back to the 80s, you would really understand these headphones a lot better.
Well, let's go then. Let's do this review in the 1980s.
Huh, I wish. We'd need a time machine.
We have a time machine.
You should not go back to the 80s.
Why not?
Back in the 80s, I led a rescue team of U.S. Army Special Forces deployed to the jungles on the border with Guatemala. My squad encountered a camouflaged alien life form armed with advanced plasma weaponry.
What?
Don't do it.
We're not going back to the 80s to discuss the PortaPro. It just can't be done, even though it would explain it a lot better. Here is the time machine. Grover, this is a blow dryer. Come on, let's go visit the PortaPro in the 1980s.
If things get too hot, abort mission and get back to the LZ.
What is he talking about?
Get to the chopper!
Hang on!
Oh, the 1980s! Grover? Yeah? This is the 1940s. How can you tell? Everything's black and white. Oh, I can fix this. I can fix this.
What? Welcome to the glorious 1980s, righteous dude. This is the 1950s. What? Yeah, I'll get this right. Actually, hold on, Grover. Since we're here, I should mention that John Koss started the Koss Company right about now, in 1958. So Koss has been making headphones for a long, long time, and they're one of the first companies to do so commercially. But this isn't the 80s. I know that. Fine. Not the 80s, not the 80s. Am I supposed to know? I wasn't even born. Millennials. Ah, perfect. This should be the mid-1980s.
Why is everything blue?
I told you, there were many things here that were blue around this time. Just like the Koss PortaPro.
So you listen to these on a Walkman?
It's pronounced Walkman. And yes, I did. Here it is. See, in the mid-1980s, when the PortaPro was first released, portable audio was still a fairly new concept. Before the Walkman was invented, if you wanted to listen to music through headphones, you either had to carry around a bulky device, or you could listen at home on a big home stereo system like my old Sony tape deck over here. With the arrival of the Walkman, for the first time ever, you could take your music with you in your pocket and listen through headphones on the move.
That does sound like a game changer.
It was, but at first, nobody paid much attention to the sound quality of Walkman headphones. Then slowly, audio companies started to realize that, hey, maybe if they produced better sounding headphones, they could sell a whole bunch. Koss was one of those companies.
Bert, you have some headphones here.
Oh, my Koss HV1s! These were actually from the 70s. I really enjoyed listening to these in the 80s though. They were built like a tank and had what Koss called high-velocity drivers. These are open headphones released at a time when the vast majority of headphones were closed back. Now, I'm showing you these because much of the sound of future Koss headphones were based on this model, including the PortaPro. Okay, let's take a closer look at the PortaPro and where it came from. Through the decades, Koss was a real innovator in the headphone world, and in 1981, they developed a headphone called the Koss Sound Partner. The Sound Partner sold along with Koss's own version of the Walkman called the Koss Music Box. They called it Stereo to Go. Koss kept working on the sound and improving the audio driver. Finally, in 1984, they released this, the Koss PortaPro. And it shook up the world.
Why?
Well, Grover, for the most part, Walkman headphones did not have the greatest sound. They were built to be super portable first and foremost, and sound quality was not the most important factor. Hold on, let me look around here. Here it is. Here is my Sony MDR1, a typical portable headphone of this era. These headphones were okay sounding, but once you put on a pair of PortaPros, wow, you entered a whole new world of audio.
All these headphones are so retro. I'm going to take a photo and text it to my friends.
You can't. You can't text anyone in the 80s.
What do you mean?
There's no internet here. Check your cell phone. There's no cell connection.
Well, that's no problem. We can use Wi-Fi.
There's no Wi-Fi either. There's nothing online.
My goodness. How did you talk to people in the 1980s?
You used a regular telephone. See this thing right here?
You carry that big thing around? I can't imagine sitting on the bus with that.
You didn't take it on the bus. You couldn't even take it out of your room. It's connected to the wall.
So you left your house without a
phone?
Of course.
That is horrifying. What about Instagram?
No.
Twitter?
No.
Snapchat?
Thankfully, no.
Could you at least watch your favorite shows?
You could watch shows, but only on TV. And shows were usually aired once a week. You couldn't pick and watch whatever you wanted, like Netflix. You could only watch TV in your house.
Well, this is technically not true. You could use a Watchman, a portable television from the 80s.
That's true, Santa in the future, but very few people had a Watchman, and they didn't always work properly.
Wow. So what did people do? What did you do in your room if you didn't have a TV set?
Well, I read comic books and listened to my music with headphones. That's about it.
I cannot believe these people made it into the 21st century.
So now do you understand the importance of portable music in this era?
Yes, I really get it. Now I know why you brought me here. My goodness, music must have meant so much to the people of the 80s.
It really did. That's why listening to music on a Walkman was so revolutionary. But imagine listening to your Walkman with high-quality portable audio headphones.
That must have been glorious.
That is the reason why the PortaPro had such a massive impact.
Incredible.
But that wasn't all. The PortaPro also had other features that made it very special.
Like what?
Well, let me give you a close-up of the driver. There's that wonderful blue 80s color. The driver was quite an innovation, and Koss put a large amount of work into this. You see those vents there? They help with rear damping to produce a cleaner sound.
Very nice.
Let's compare that to the driver of a typical Walkman headphone, the MDR1. You see the difference?
Yes, the PortaPro is much bigger.
But the PortaPro also had another massive innovation: comfort. Let's take a look again at the Sony MD-R1. To make it more comfortable on your head, you could adjust the headband, and the drivers would automatically angle themselves onto your ear. These are two innovations that improved comfort. The PortaPro had 4 innovations that improved comfort.
What are they?
First, the headband. While traditional headphone bands are made of a single piece, the PortaPro had a 2-piece headband instead of 1. That means the headband is far more adjustable and can more comfortably fit different sized heads. Second, the PortaPro has 2 temporal pads. Do you see them right there on the temples? These help to spread the clamping pressure of the headphones so you don't feel all the pressure only on your ears. The temporal pads vastly reduce the pressure, so listening is more comfortable than a standard portable headphone.
I've never seen that before.
Third, and this is extremely unique, Koss introduced the Comfort Zone adjustment feature. This allows you to control the pressure of the ear pads on your ears. You can set it to firm for a tight fit, medium, or even light for a looser fit.
That is something I have really never seen, not even in a modern headphone.
Neither have I. You know, many reviewers of this headphone overlook this feature and think it's unnecessary. It is at first. You know, when you put on these headphones, you don't really feel that you need to adjust them. But after wearing them for many hours on the firm setting, you may feel some pressure on your ears. That's when the medium and light settings really come in handy.
Ingenious!
Welcome to the 80s, my friend. And fourth, just like other headphones of the era, the PortaPro drivers are attached by a ball joint, so they pivot and self-adjust to the angle of your ear.
So, Bert, do you find them comfortable?
I really do. On my head, they are extremely light, not heavy in the slightest. They almost feel like you have nothing on. I wore them for 3 hours, and here is my Scott score for the Koss PortaPro.
Do they leak a lot of sound?
Yes, they do. But remember that these are open headphones. I've seen many reviews where people say this as a negative, but you have to understand, in the 80s, all the first portable headphones were open. I remember being on the bus and all you heard was music leaking from other people's headphones. Some of you from the 80s will remember that.
So do you recommend using them in public?
They don't isolate sound very well. You will pick up much of the outside noise around you if you wear them in public, and others will be able to hear your music. They are really great for listening at home, though, or in private. On the other hand, if you are walking around the city wearing these, you can hear things like traffic around you, which is important for safety. Also, you definitely don't have to take them off your ears to have a conversation with someone. Here is the WPH score, or weight, pressure, heat score for these headphones. I calculate these scores by wearing the headphones for 1 hour straight. They score really well.
They do not get hot on your ears?
I wore them on a very hot summer day. And I wasn't hot at all.
What about the cable?
Well, let's take a look at it. So we have a standard 3.5mm or 1/8 inch stereo mini plug. The cable is 4 feet long, which is just great for portable use. And on the classic PortaPro, the input jack is angled, as you can see here. See that?
Does it come with a beautiful oversized leather hard case like we saw with the Sony Z1R?
No, Grover, this is a small, inexpensive headphone. But even so, it does come with a small leather or fake leather carry bag. You see that right there? I've used this a few times, but I don't use it very much because the PortaPro has another cool feature for storage.
What's that?
You can fold them into a circle.
This thing has so many gadgets for such a small headphone. How does it fold?
You fold them like this. So you can see a lot of innovative features went into this headphone.
I'm very impressed, actually. Let's see how durable they are.
Grover, not a good idea.
Why? Are they fragile?
Well, they are pretty durable and not so easy to break, but they can be broken if not taken care of. They do put up with everyday use quite well and should last you many years.
Okay, Bert. So how do they sound?
I think they sound great, especially for the low cost. These headphones have been around for so long because they are just, well, they're easy to like.
Better than a high-end flagship headphone?
No, Grover. The Koss PortaPro is not a high-end audiophile headphone. It's a low-cost, high-quality headphone, though. The sound of these headphones is definitely on the warm side, with emphasis on the bass. They have a smoothness that is just pleasant and easy to listen to, which I think is why they've been around for so long and are still in production.
They've been around for decades.
Right, they have. Now let's talk about the bass, mids, and the highs. The feature that really stands out about this headphone is its bass performance in this price range. There's a lot of ample bass, especially in the mid-bass region, and it sounds good. This gives the headphone a very nice, warm sound. I would not say that the bass is super detailed, but it's there and it's solid. There isn't a lot of sub-bass, but that's to be expected. I mean, after all, these are small portables. That's okay though, because the bass is pretty clean. It's not muddy or choppy as you might expect in low-cost headphones. The bass has a lot of slam to it too, which makes it fun to listen to. Okay, the transition from the bass to the mid-range is very smooth. That warm sound you hear in the bass is also present there in the mid-range, so it's really relaxing. The mid-range is just slightly withdrawn and with not too many details, but it does have good body. There is enough clarity for the music to come through and it sounds very pleasant. Is there some trouble with the treble on this headphone? Well, the treble on this headphone is not perfect. It does have decent extension, but it is a little rolled off.
What does rolled off mean?
Oh, rolled off means that once you get past a certain frequency, in this case the higher frequencies, the treble starts to diminish. The highs start to slope down. So the PortaPro doesn't exactly have shimmering highs, but it's also not too dull either. The highs are never harsh or sibilant, which means you can listen to this headphone for a long time without getting tired.
Do you like the treble?
I do. I mean, the treble on the PortaPro is not perfectly balanced, nor is it very extended, and it doesn't have the best clarity out there. But the sound is very smooth and not harsh at all. You can listen to these for hours and hours without any problems. The soundstage on this headphone is not bad for a small portable set. It is an open headphone, so that helps. It's not a huge soundstage, but the sound is also not closed in. It is slightly outside of your head, which for a small, low-cost headphone is pretty good. Okay, now let's have you hear what the PortaPro actually sound like. You will need headphones for this, so for this part of the video, please, put on your headphones. Now, I don't have the technology here in the 80s to do this, so I'm gonna need Santa's help in the future.
What? Me?
Yes, you! Can you get Mr. Ears and test the PortaPro?
You want the acoustic audio simulator?
Yes, Mr. Ears.
All right, we are prepared to begin testing sequence.
You set it up for balanced recording?
Of course. What do you take me for?
Okay, let's start with the old Sony MDR1. Now, for copyright reasons, we can't play any popular music.
Audio file is engaged.
Silent nights recalling you, a souvenir of what it could be. Pieces of my mind are yours. I forgot the parts I'm missing. I pretend that we are okay, like nothing's ever broken. And I pretend that we are dancing, like the nights are never ending.
It's not that impressive.
Now let's go to the PortaPro.
Now testing Cos PortaPro.
Silent nights recalling you, a souvenir of what it could be. Pieces of my mind are yours. I forgot the parts I'm missing. I pretend that we are okay, like nothing's ever broken. And I pretend that we are dancing, like the nights are never ending.
Ah, do you hear the difference? Let's play the Sony and the Cos one after the other.
The PortaPro is far superior.
I agree.
Are there any negatives to the PortaPro?
Yes, a few. And to talk about the negatives of the Cos PortaPro, here is Santa in the future.
All right, here's everything wrong with the Cos PortaPro. Number 1, if you don't know how to put these things on and off properly, you won't need to go to the barber anymore because it's going to pull out your hair. Here, see that gap in between the two sliding headbands? Your hair can get caught in it.
Oh, it's not that bad, Santa. You just have to be a little careful when you take them on and off.
Number 2, you have to readjust the headband every time you put the headphones on.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, you see this wire here? This wire is just okay. It's not the best.
It's a low-cost headphone, and the wire's pretty good for the price.
Look how thin it is. It's like a little pencil mustache. Number 4, well, the plastic on the Porta Pro is a little cheap.
That's true, I have to agree, but it is also lightweight. Again, you have to remember the low cost here. Despite this, they are very durable.
I really like the Porta Pro. It is Santa approved.
Another great bonus to this headphone, for such a low cost, it comes with a limited lifetime warranty. And by lifetime, I mean your lifetime. That's right. Koss will repair or replace the headphone if it has any issues, and there is no time limit on this. I've included a link below where you can find out more about the warranty. Now finally, there are other versions of this headphone that you may want to check out from Koss, versions that use the same driver. There's the Koss Porta Pro, which you can wear in 2 different ways. So you can wear that with a hat, the KSC35 ear clip, and the Pro 35A. Recently, Koss has also made a Bluetooth version of these. I haven't tried those out yet. In conclusion, I would call the sound of these headphones easy peasy. Nothing complicated here, nothing ugly, nothing bad in the sound to dislike. These headphones are the opposite of harsh. There are no sharp edges here. Now, if you prefer bright headphones, you may not enjoy this sound so much. For people who love bright headphones, these might come off as sounding a little muffled. But I really like them, and I have loved them for decades, ever since this period of time here, the glorious 1980s. If you're new to the headphone hobby and you want to start listening to better quality audio, these are a really good place to start. And the low cost of these headphones makes them low risk. You know, for me, the Porta Pro is like hanging out with a good friend who never gives you a hard time and is just easy to hang out with. That's what these are.
Like me.
Yeah, sure.
And I am blue, just like the Porta Pros.
Yes, you are. You are definitely 80s blue. Well, thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please subscribe and you'll get an alert when we put the next one up. Thanks so much, and we'll see you back in the future.
Sir, are you from the year 1986? Isn't everyone?
No, most certainly not. I really need to get online.
Well, you're not in line, and there's no lineup.
That is not what I mean. Do you have a smartphone?
Well, I wouldn't say my phone is smart, but I wouldn't call it stupid either.
Look, I just really need some Samsung or Apple products.
I've got plenty of Apple products.
Really?
Of course, let me get it for you. There you have a Granny Smith over here, and a Red Delicious, which really is delicious, and finally, Apple Macintosh.
They have nothing here. You probably don't even have Facebook.
Oh, I have Facebook.
You do? You have Facebook?
Of course. I'll go get it. There's my Facebook right there, see?